What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Stardust here. Welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. And today we are giving you some Guardians of the Galaxy news. Now, there was some discussion here on this recent article by Eurogamer discussing about sales, Square Enix expectations, and also potential chance at a sequel. And I wanted to go through it and I wanted to present it, of course, the only way that I know how. So, let's read it straight away. So, last year, Eidos Montreal released Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, its own original take on Marvel's oddball spacefaring family, to largely positive reviews which praised its single-player focus, character work, and humour. But it remained unclear how well the game had performed commercially, and in February, publisher Square Enix said the title had undershot expectations. So, obviously, during the BAFTA Video Game Awards last night, obviously 2 nights ago now as I'm doing this video, they sat down with the team and they discussed a bunch of things. So we're going to look into that right now. So, we'll scroll down a little bit. Thanks to word of mouth and its arrival on Xbox Game Pass, Dugas now feels the game is doing well. It's like anything, we always want to sell trillions, but it's not always necessarily as easy as that, he laughed. That is something senior narrative director Mary DeMarle, I'll say, echoed. For me, it's all about creating the game, she said. What I love right now is that people, especially with Xbox Game Pass, are playing it and they're sharing the experience. We make games to touch people. We make games to hit an audience, and it's great that it's finding its audience, and it's great that it keeps going forward. Now, obviously, that's a good indicator there that Xbox Game Pass for Guardians of the Galaxy is indeed pushing its player base, or at least, the amount of people that have played Guardians, and that's always great. Game Pass is amazing for something like that. So, then Eurogamer said, but could forward still mean sequel? On this, the team was keen not to rule anything out. Right now, we're not talking about the future, Dugas said, because every time we close a project, that's a time to pull down, wrap up, and take some vacations. So I guess we'll know in the future months or years what we're going to be working on next, so we'll see. Never say never and never say anything, he joked. When asked where he would personally like to see the characters go next, Dugas did say he has ideas, but what these ideas are remains a mystery. Meanwhile, DeMarle was equally coy. I don't like to give anything away for the future, she dodged. I will say that, working on the game, these characters become very dear to me and to the writing team, and we were sad to say goodbye when they were finished. But now we're seeing what happens out there in the world. The team also chatted about the challenges of moving away from the shadow of the MCU, with the name Star-Lord immediately invokes Chris Pratt wielding his quad blasters with Bradley Cooper's voice as Rocket, and Zoe Saldana's Gamora by his side. I think there was a little bit of an inherited amount of pressure, knowing how big the MCU is, said John McLaren, the actor behind the game's version of Star-Lord, which I think he did an amazing job, by the way, but let me know what you think down in the comments below. We were told very early on in the process that this was to be a unique story and a new take on the characters. It was to be separate from the MCU and separate from the comic books. DeMarle said that this was all done by simply coming back to the heart of the characters. Marvel was really supportive of that, DeMarle said. When we met with them in LA for the first time to talk about the game, and we were going to be able to do with it, they were very clear. Now, before I continue on, I just want to say how amazing it is that they're being so open about all of this, and I genuinely do believe that this is like a really great article, so I'm not going to read too much on, but it is pretty interesting that they didn't straight up deny the chance of a Guardians of the Galaxy 2 sequel, and the reason I say that is because Square Enix themselves have announced that they have a 3-game deal, I believe. I could be wrong with Marvel Games. Obviously we've had Avengers, we've had Guardians of the Galaxy, so the third one, you see what I'm saying? Is that still up in the air? Does this team not know? What is the situation there? I'd be very curious to see as that progresses. So, then straight after that, they said, we want you to create your version of the Guardians, make sure that the essence of these characters remains the same, but you can create your own backstories, you can make your own looks for them and everything. To come up with these new backstories and unique versions of Peter Quill and co, the team delved into Marvel's history. The first thing we did as a team was immerse ourselves in everything Guardians. So obviously we'd seen the movies, we watched them again, and there were tons of comics, thus the Guardians expletive flark came to be, and even looked at the anime television show series, explained DeMarle. We started to see that every single incarnation of Guardians of the Galaxy has a core. The characters each have a core to their being, but yet they're also different. Now, I'm going to leave it there when it comes to this article, because I mean, it is a quality article that I do believe that everyone should be reading, and it does touch on story stuff and that, so I don't necessarily want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't currently played the game. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So developers discussing, you know, sequels, sales, and much more for Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, before I do leave, I just want to say thank you all for the support on the Assemble for Charity event that's happened recently. We raised over $1,000 for National Centre of Trans Equality, which is absolutely incredible. And if you're wondering where the Marvel's Avengers videos are, there genuinely is just no news to cover right now with Marvel's Avengers. And obviously, I'm still a Marvel and DC channel, so I would be doing other games in the meantime as well under that umbrella. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.